Hello, welcome to Maniac Sports. Uh, this is Maniac Tim. How's everybody doing today? This week, Thursday starts the NFL draft. We we're going to get to see what the Lions finally do, what the Lions are going to do with the draft. Are they going to trade down? Are they going to trade up? Get more picks, trade players. There's been some names that's been saying, are they going to trade Jameson Williams? Are they going to trade Hendon Hooker? Uh, I even heard even Sam Laporta. Uh, but if you trade some of these key people that we have, you know, then you gotta replace some. Okay, and now Hendon Hooker, he's really not that much of a key. He's a key backup, but we don't know what's going to go on with him. We, he hasn't developed, and we haven't seen really the way that he developed. So, to me, his trade value is not what we think it should be. So that needs to be considered too. Sam Laporta, you know, last year he didn't have the best year. Didn't have the best year. There's he did come, but of course he got hurt the year before at the end of the season. Uh, you know, so I don't want to see them trade away the foundation of this organization. You know, granted, if if they try to trade away like Jameer Gibbs, I'll bitch slap them. I'm sorry, but we know they're not going to trade away St. Brown. We know that. Uh, that would be real dumb. You don't give a guy a contract like that. Jameson Williams, I could understand there's pros and cons with him, but I'll tell you what, I think if we end up trading away Jameson Williams, I think we will regret it, especially if you trade him away to like a rival team like Minnesota, Green Bay, uh, anybody like that, Chicago, even somebody in the NFC. Could you just imagine if you had somebody with the type of quarterback that could match up with him, and see that's one of the things that how would I know they're not even considering trading Jared Goff. And I don't blame them. Jared Goff is our quarterback. He should be. He earned the right to be our quarterback. But is he going to? Is he the one? Is what I'm saying. Is he the one that's going to really be able to take us there? He has definitely more playoff run wins than Matt Stafford has. When Matt Stafford was with the Lions, of course, once he went to the Rams, Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl and all that other stuff. But we just got to look at what we got going on. Shoot, I don't want to. Sorry, but yeah, of course, I'm on StreamYard. This is Maniac Tim, and like I said, I will be going to PAX East, which is a streaming conference. I gotta get Madden. I need to actually get Madden football and get my PS4 hooked up. I don't have 5, but get things and start playing that and start streaming that too. But there's not going to be a mock draft on this channel. I definitely want to see them get, possibly I want to see them get an edge rusher. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Detroit fan man? Glad to see you're back. Um, Always glad to have you here. Uh, so, this draft is just a little bit away. Yeah, and too bad about the Pistons that losing to though. But is that a calling a ceiling fan? There's what is there a? I do have a ceiling fan, but is there like a noise? Yeah. Is that better? I, because I don't have a ceiling fan. Oh, you know what? I bet it is. It's my damn chair. When I move back, that's what it is. Yeah, my chair squeaks. So sorry about that, guys. Um, and I'm also sorry that I really can't see you guys' comments on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook. If you guys want to comment, please. Maniac Sports. Check that out. Subscribe there because that's the best way for me to see comments, or even on Twitch, Maniac Sports Twitch. Um, but yeah, I really want to see the Lions get, like I said, I want to see them get an edge rusher and also maybe somebody in the maybe offensive line guy because there's been a couple that's been, we've been a little, we lost a couple and you got a couple of our guys that are getting older too. That we don't, you got some that we lost a couple and then we were also, so they always got to be replacing and replenishing um, in order to grow in the future. But yet alone, we still need to be able to get those players that will get us over the hump. Part of that might be just by just by bringing by the people that was unhealthy being healthy. Uh, Definitely think our secondary that we got is respectful and really going to be able to ball out. So I'm looking at that too. By the way, I hope everybody had a good Easter. Condolence to the Pope. Uh, really can't say to the Pope's family, but to the Catholic Church uh, for their loss. For but yeah, and actually, I'm really, 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 really looking forward to this draft. Really looking forward to this coming up season. Uh, you know, because this season's, I mean, we're not that far. If you look at it, draft is coming up. Then you'll get the mini camps that will come up. And of course, then you'll have you know, when you're heading around August, that's when you'll start getting the main training camp. Uh, of course, we go through free agency again. Um, it's it just it's a circle. Basically just a circle, and bringing the right people and the right and also the right players that's going to work for the system. With the system, basically, because there's a lot of you know you, there's a lot of good players, but it doesn't mean that those good players are going to work with the system. So you need the people with the right mindset. The mindset that's not going to be a lazy asses or not going to fight. Yeah, not going to strive to be the best. Not going to work with the system. Um, you need the players that's going to work with the system, that's going to be able to with the same token, you need. Hey, how's it going, Kevin? How's it going? Edge rusher. Want to go alongside Aiden Hutchins. And also, I'm looking at, we still got to replenish what we lost on the offensive line and keeping that, because there's a couple players that are getting old that has talked about retiring too. So we definitely need another edge rusher opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, and we also need a magic wand to keep the players healthy. you know. Uh, okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Seems like Brad's staying at 28, the first and the last likely option. Yet not sure if he trades up or down. True. Maybe he gets bored waiting and needs to move around the board. And that's common. That's common. Brad Holmes. I mean, there's been times where, I mean, if you his first year when we got Panay Sue, you know, they had to kind of talk him down. You know, they had to talk him down from training up because Panay Sue went ahead and he actually fell to where we were. So yes, that's definitely a good point. And we all know, even if we don't think it's right, even if everybody else don't think it's right, Brad's going to do what Brad's going to do. I mean, just look at all the criticism Brad got when he moved down to get Gibbs. But you know what? It was a magnificent move. Do you think I can make the roster? OMG, Kevin. Really? 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 Yeah. You could make the roster. Maybe a water boy. We could be. We could be the. I mean, and. OMG, that's a good one. oh, oh man, to be able to be in that type of shape and to have that type of skill set. Okay, heard we do need a new Rory. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and let's get some. You know. Uh, because basically lines run in packs. Basically, lines run in packs and stuff. So, yeah, let's definitely let's get some more Rory's family, Rory's pride. You know. So, Kevin, you want to be the new Rory, or one of his uh uh don't want to say uh oh boy. Uh, but that definitely was a good one. Oh boy, I still can't believe he said. Okay. Yeah. Man, Kevin, I could just see us all joining a roster. Yeah. We could all make the roster, and it would be great to see that. You know. Um. But will we actually make that roster? Well, I don't think I could. Maybe as Rory, I would really love to be able to, but that would be that'd be something else. So last update I heard, he's doing well. He's just about at 100% now. So yeah, maybe it's never a good thing that you don't make the Super Bowl or even the NFC Championship game. It that's not a good thing. The only part about that is at least he wasn't forced to go uh, play earlier than what he needed to. But definitely, I heard he's doing real good. He's running. He's God, but they just gotta get that damn Super Bowl. You know, I mean they gotta do that. And I'll tell you what, I think if you can keep intact most of the players you got on offense and get a uh, and get a another defensive uh, pass rusher in there, one opposite that stays healthy, that's so motivated, I really think the Lions are full contenders. You know, I just think it would be great to see. I just, but yeah, you know. I mean, hey, teams that worry me even more. Of course, Washington got to worry us. You know, uh, I think the LOL was about the you being Rory. Uh, but I, yeah, I'm still worried about Washington. I know they're going. They're trying to get it. Uh, you still got to be concerned about what your how do I want to put it? Um, you got to be concerned about, of course, Philadelphia. That's still a concern. Green Bay is always going to be that type of concern. Uh, Washington, okay. Washington too. You look at Washington. Um, you also have Dallas. Uh, but if you can get it where you can, we need a strong enough defense that's going to be able to control these running quarterbacks. Chicago always gives us trouble. There are some teams that will play you hard just because of who they are and how well they know you. Uh, And so anybody in our division, you just got to look at, even though the Lions did not lose in the division last year, uh, came close. They and they only lost like one game previous year in their division. You know, uh, and a couple the year before that. But these players just know how they know how they inner conference teams and rivals know each other well enough. Now, I mean, it's just like if you look at how, I mean, sure, in the playoffs it was different, but you look at Washington, in the regular season, they were able to beat Philadelphia, one of the times, at least, which actually ended up helping us out to win the NFC North. Uh, but in the playoffs, Washington was not able to beat Philadelphia in the playoffs. So, there's still that balance. I think we could get Tom Brady out of retirement. You know what? If we could get Tom Brady out of retirement, then we could get Gronk too, because we know if Tom went ahead and said, "Hey Gronk, I need you," uh, oh boy. But yeah, but you also got to realize, in order for Tom, and I know that was LOL. Uh, but in order for Tom Brady to come out of retirement, he would need to sell his stake that he has in the um, Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. So, I mean, why don't we just get Jim Kelly to come out? No, no, no. God darn it. Uh, Man, that's going back. Jim Kelly's going back. Shoot. That's Oh boy. Why don't we just get Michael Vick to come back? Man, I'll tell you, could you imagine what I now I mean no, I don't think Michael Vick could do much now, but in his prime. Could you imagine what a running quarterback could do behind the offensive line of the Lions? You know? Uh oh gosh. And I'm not talking about any Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, he's good and stuff like that, but I don't think he's. I, it's just. But what would Josh Allen be? What would Patrick Mahomes be behind? Behind the offensive line like the Lions got. We already seen what basically filling Denver's quarterback is behind his Jalen Hurts, but he is behind a good offensive line, a great offensive line. Um, but yeah, welcome. You guys are watching the Maniac One show. This is Maniac Tim uh, from Maniac Sports. Um, so Thursday night is the draft. Man, Thursday night starts the draft. Round one. Round one. Can and who's and really, well, Here we're talking about maybe Brad trading down or trading up. Would it help that much if he did trade down or if he did trade? You know, that's one thing you gotta look at too. Is the quality, will it help the quality of the team, or is it just you gotta find the diamond, the diamonds in the rough, the develop, find the players that you can develop quickly too, because there's so it's realizing too the talents that's not the number one, the number two pick. It's being able to get the best out of players that, hey, maybe because of the type of college or the type of schedule that the team played, maybe maybe there were some that were hidden that are actually better than some of these players that aren't. You know, um, and we have seen that before. We have seen it where, uh, I mean, not so much as much on the Lions team, but on other teams, you have seen it where you know a player was drafted towards the end. Like the before mentioned Tom Brady, seventh round draft pick, the year he was drafted. Brock Purdy, last pick of the draft for the 49ers. Now, granted, the skill set of a Brock Purdy is a lot less than what the skill set is of Tom Brady, but hey, it sometimes it's just getting sometimes it's getting lucky too. If you look at if Drew Bledsoe wouldn't have gotten hurt, would we ever really known what Tom Brady was and would become? You know. And speaking of Michigan quarterbacks, you got McCarthy, who's we're going to see him. We're going to see uh, with the Vikings. We're going to see how he does. We're going. Sometimes Michigan quarterbacks can be great, but then sometimes they can fall flat in the face too. But I don't. I mean, I like McCarthy. I don't like the team he plays for. Um, so I want to see him knock on his ass. Uh, I lost 4 Super Bowls with Jim Kelly. I know. That was rough, man. That's well, and really since then, Baltimore, uh, uh, Buffalo. I don't know why I said Baltimore. Since then, Buffalo has not really. I mean, they've gotten close, but uh, wasn't Ronnie Pete the a running quarterback? Yes, he was. He was, but he didn't have the type of offensive line that. But yeah, he was a running quarterback, and he also, but he got injured. Remember, he got injured. Actually, the year before, or in a preseason game, uh, before the start of the season. So, and of course, Ronnie P being a running quarterback was not in the league where in the time when the league wasn't there wasn't a lot of running quarterbacks. And if you look at it, there was a lot of, some people hated it, you know, because they thought they should be like, uh, that you should just stay in the backfield and, and be that throwing quarterback. But, I think Michael Vick, Warren Moon, Brian, I think they kind of helped change that, though. What pick, like, pick lines have what pick lines? You got the 28th pick. That's what they got. So they'll have the 28th overall pick. I think that's what it is. But I mean, you know how Brad Holmes is Brad Holmes. I mean, he moved up for Jameson Williams. He moved, uh, you know, he moved up for Coach Jameson Williams. He ended up taking Jahmyr Gibbs. What a lot of people thought was early, but it worked out masterfully that he did that the way he did. Um, so they really had to talk him down to get Panay Sue because Brad was so worried that Panay Sue would not be there when they drafted him. So, but they talked him down and they waited until he actually got to their pick. So hey, if there's a guy on the board that Brad Holmes wants, he's not afraid to give up future draft picks for them. But one of the things you got to be concerned with, okay, that's the way the Lions are built. So if you end up giving away the formula that is getting you there by trading picks away, in a way it makes no sense. So hey, it's in a way, but then sometimes and of course there's sometimes that you'll go ahead and make that trade with somebody else, and then they'll come back and bite you in the ass. And then there's other times where, hey, like I could have had that player. And if you look at, I do think that Brad Holmes and company are a lot better at picking people before than people did before, because there was, like Giovanni Tobai, when Matt Patricia got and Bob Quinn got Tobai, he did nothing. He never really developed. He was too slow to really do the job. He was one of those who he was one of those you scratch your head, why did they get him? And I remember Jim was madder than hell. He's madder than hell when they got because that's what he said. He's too darn slow. And then when it was time to get rid of him, they just got rid of him. And another one that really didn't pan out for the Lions was oh, oh, I lost it. I'm sorry, the mind grabber got me. Uh oh, Eric Ebron. You know, he never really did it either. He never really, he was supposed to be the possible, you know, savior. But the Lions have had trouble bringing in and picking really good tight ends too. So in a lot of ways, that's why I'm kind of not for when you throw names like Sam Laporta's coming out and stuff, or like Trey Sam Laporta, for a draft pick and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. You were thinking about Ebron too, yeah. But then Ebron goes to the what was it, the Colts, because they picked him up, uh, and he had a pretty damn good year his first year with the Colts, but that was it, you know. Yeah, but yeah, Eric Ebust, and I'm sure you know who we could have got instead of getting Eric Ebron. You know, Sam Darnold. The line passed up on Sam Darnold to get Eric Ebron. Uh, it it made no sense. You know. Um, Now, granted, you know, back then they thought that Matthew Stafford was, so needed weapons. You know, but you also needed somebody that could actually catch the ball that would actually hang on to it, and that was his main trouble. Is he would be in position, but whether it just be Murphy's law or whatever the heck, he was never able to that much come back with that reception. You know, and another thing, will Jameson Williams get over 1,000 yards this year? Will this be Jameson? Yeah, how important is it for the Lions to have Jameson Williams actually have that breakout year? I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Jameson Williams ball out and the other teams get bought on by him, because that guy is deadly fast, you know. And then so how important, is it, you know? So, in other words, that's why I'm actually looking where you do need another offensive line guy, because especially if we have somebody go down, you know. I mean, we all know injuries are a part of the NFL because, hey, people ask if NFL is a contact sport. It's not a contact sport. It is a collision sport, which is much rougher than a contact sport, you know, because it isn't like you're playing, where you go ahead and you can just always push the player down. No, it's two massive bodies colliding together in order to knock somebody down or knock somebody out of the way to get that touchdown. And will the the hangover be there this year too. What I mean by that is, will the Lions, especially, will they be so physical that the team is so darn sore, or that the other team is so darn sore the next week that they lose the following week? Because there was a few games where you had it where the uh, the other team. I got probably about 15 minutes left that I can be on here, but where somebody from the other team, the other team was hurting so bad after playing the Lions that they went ahead and lost the following week. So will the hang, will the Lions kind of lighten up on? No, you can't lighten up on the way you play the game, because that's what got the success, but it's also what got the injuries too. But so okay, with Ebron, we passed on Terrence Lawrence, Odell Beckham, and some defensive tackle named Ebron. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that was, I mean, yeah, they sure did. And it was crazy. Why, why, why? Why did they do that? Oh, okay. All right. And remember who they passed on when they got Terry Fair? I mean, I remember who they passed on when they got Terry Fair. And that was way back. And he ended, they a lot of teams passed on him. But because I think it was, but it's a while back, but they hated uh, they hated Alk, because we had to play that person that we passed on twice a year, and it wasn't always good. And of course, that was Randy Moss that the line passed on to bring in Terry Fair. So, whew, damn, back of sleep's catching up with me. Sorry about the young guys. Uh, yeah, I gotta keep a track of the time too, because I do gotta go to work. Yep, that's one thing I still do, is I still need to go to work. Actually, I need to get my retirement papers in. I wish I could. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll tell you what. If I could retire and had the money to go to every damn Lions game and live stream through those games, God, could you imagine? That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. One of these days. Oh God, sorry guys. Ah, and how many years do you think the Lions, how many years will the Lions be dedicated to Jared Goff, and how many years will Jared Goff be dedicated to the Lions? You know, Lions keep having seasons like they had the last couple of years. You know, you're gonna want to keep resigning. But is he going to be the franchise quarterback that will get us over the hump, that will get us to the Super Bowl, and that will have the Lions win the Super Bowl? That still remains to be seen. 100% remains to be seen. Oh, sorry. Okay. ID, another just watched the game in my house and used my own personal. I'll use the same money to buy a helicopter. Oh my gosh. Oh. You know what? I'm going to do this because I need to wake my ass up. That was my horse. Yeah, that's true. I understand exactly what. To buy. But and one thing, will the Lions ever expand Ford Field? And I'll tell you what, those tickets this year, oh my God, they were so expensive. You know, they were. I like to be able to get away where you could get the tickets and you wouldn't need to pay all the damn fees that go with them. You know, because there's so much, so much stuff that the bank does that you know, in order to buy tickets online, and that's where you gotta buy tickets all the time is online, basically. So yeah, and ticket prices have really gone through the roof like crazy. Yeah. My growling didn't wake me up. I was hoping it would, but it never did. Uh, but in saying that, I need to grab me something to wake my ass up. Uh, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate. I'm going to be definitely Sunday or uh, Thursday night. It may end up being Friday morning. I'll have a post draft show. Uh, and don't get out until sometimes I don't get out until like 11. Uh, so it'll probably end up being 11 p.m. 9 a.m. Uh, so my post draft show will more than likely will be Monday of next week because it'll probably be midnight by the time I get home and get things set up and that. But yeah, there's something to say about watching the game in your own house and stuff like that. One of these days, I know you got pay to do and stuff like that. But one of these days, I want to go down to our local movie theater. Actually, I'll probably go to the one Grand Rapids. But I would like to go and actually see the Lions on the big screen. You know, playing too. Because Cinema Carousel it's Lopes Theaters, Celebration Cinemas. They'll go ahead and play the Lions games. So they'll. Oh shoot, I'm getting lost here. Yeah, they'll play the Lions games. Um, I know they had the playoff games and stuff like that, but I couldn't imagine. But really, if you look at it, it won't be that much. But could you imagine seeing Detroit Lions game on like a high IMAX theater? You know, that would be something. But some of those video boards, you know, some of the video TVs that they got now are bigger, you know, bigger yet. But I'm saying that I do need to get finished getting ready for work. Thank you guys. Thank you, Detroit Fan Man. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, anybody else who's on Facebook that I am not able to see the comments in my uh, trash. Uh, in Facebook. All right. But this is Maniac Tim. Yeah, yep. See you later. Yeah, yeah. I like I said, I'm gonna try to be on as much as I can. Uh, Take care, and we are looking to see which position are you gonna sign for, Kevin? Are you gonna sign for the new Rory, or are you gonna sign to be one of the pack, or are you just going to be a water boy? I don't know. But and of course that is all said and fun. But I know I could not imagine what it would be like to actually be hit by one of those players. God darn it, could you imagine it? But this is Maniac Tim for the Maniac One show and Maniac Sports telling you guys have a great one. Take care.